Welcome to Echoes of Enlightenment, where we talk about spirituality, life lessons, and overall self-development. In today's episode, we'll be talking about some techniques for working through problems. What I've realized is if you look at different situations from a different angle, a different point of view, it can change the meaning of something. Two different perspectives on one thing can have two different meanings. Same way that it's more than one way to solve a math problem. Some people can just work that whole thing out, and some people can just do a couple of steps and get that same answer. It's just how you want to get to the root of it. When problems happen in our life, it's how you look at the problem. First of all, when you call a problem, that's already the hard way to go about it. Or if you call the challenging situation a problem, then that's, since you labeled it a problem, now it's going to be a problem. Because as soon as you label like, damn, I got this problem I have to deal with, you begin to identify it to a bunch of other things that you called a problem, other situations in life, because that's mainly the most general word we use for a challenging situation is, oh, dang, I got a problem. Man, they're a problem. They're being a problem. Here's a something. It's a negative. We put a negative spin on it. And through life, it's always going to be challenging events. And every time we call them a problem, then we've collected a ton of negative experiences, our negative view of experiences that we had to work through. So now when a problem occurs, we internalize it like, oh, here we go. Your vibration instantly drops. You go into a low vibration. Now you're worried and you're already frustrated before you even started trying to figure out what the problem or figure out how to solve the problem. You're already going into all these negative reactions. And then mentally, you're starting to resonate with all these other problems throughout life that you dealt with. Now you're just bringing this whole vibration of just experiences into one situation, this one challenging situation that is considered a problem. Now you're spending more time frustrated, aggravated, upset than it would actually probably take to solve the problem. So now you put on all these heavy backpacks, all these weighted vests. Now you want to, now I got to tackle this. Now I got to tackle this problem. And now you're trying to figure out the problem with all these extra things that you've added on, you've connected to just because it was a situation that's not working out exactly how you wanted it to. Now you got to bring in the big guns. The big guns is all your other stuff that's kind of related to a problem that you've had in the past. So now you're trying to fix this problem with all this negative energy. And you already know when you're putting out negative energy, you're attracting other negative energy, other things, because it's so concentrated. You're manifesting negativity while you're trying to turn a problem into a positive situation. Do you see what I'm saying? When you're fixing a problem, you're trying to reverse it back to a positive, a negative situation to a positive situation. But you're just bringing in negativity. So you eventually will overcome that problem. But did it have to be that hard? Did you have to go through all that? I mean, it was probably a lot easier, but you just took the long way and the stressful way. And now you're tired and stuff, and you're like, I hope this doesn't ever happen. And chances are it probably will happen again, because with all that extra baggage that you added to getting through this situation, there was no time to learn the lesson. So you don't have to run into this situation again. Or if you do run into it again, you saw a easier way, a different tactic because you would have looked at it differently. See, so when I say looking at stuff from a different point of view, when there's a problem, look at the whole situation as a lesson to be learned from the challenging situation. There's a lesson in there, because that's all this world is. It's just a bunch of lessons. So soon as you run into a challenging time, be like, what's the lesson I need to learn in it? And the way you look at that, when you think of a lesson, you're like, okay, well, something I need to learn from. What else? Maybe a problem I need to solve so I can get the lesson out of it. Like, it's hard to come up with descriptive words for a lesson. But how many words can you come up with when you think of a problem? You can spend all day writing stuff. See? So when you think of it as a lesson to be learned, there's not much stuff that you're going to attach your attention to. You just almost get straight to work. Because anytime you think of something as a problem, you almost need to bring in people for it. Oh, we need to, guess what? Now you got to call people. Now they're giving you their opinion. And then you're doing too much when you're looking at situations as a problem. But when you look at it as a lesson, you won't even think to really call anybody, because you're like, oh, what I need to learn from this, because this is a personal thing that I need to learn from it. So you begin to look at the problem or the challenging situation from a whole different point of view. And you start dissecting it from a point of view of learning something from it. Like it's almost like you start like reverse engineering it. Like you working from the middle of it. Like, where's the lesson? Then as you get to the lesson, you're actually figuring out the problem to get to the lesson, because you're looking at it at a different point of view. And before you know it, you've solved the challenging situation, what would normally be called a problem. But at the same time, you've learned and you've understood what the situation was. So now you know how to avoid it. Or once you recognize that situation again, presents itself again, then you're like, yeah, I remember you. You were like a 1,000-piece puzzle that I had to put together. And, I remember this one. Yeah, you got to start at the corner up here. So you already have it like mapped out because you actually tried to learn something from it. But if you look at the situation from a problem point of view, and you look at that 1,000-piece puzzle, then you wouldn't know where to start. You're really going to need help. Man, I got at this 1,000, because you're not trying to get anything out of it. It just seems like a problem, like, dang, I got to put this together. Oh my God. Oh, now you think about time. Now you're not even it's going to take forever to do. You're going to be stressed out. No telling how you're going to end up after you eventually finish that puzzle. But if you look at it as like something to learn, like there's going to be a message or something, something you can accomplish, you can get something out of, then you start strategizing because you want to get to the end, and you're going to get there. It might be a little stressful because anything you're doing, like any kind of puzzle, no matter how you look at it, whether it's a problem puzzle or a challenging puzzle, it's still a puzzle. You're still going to have to put the pieces together. But one way is much tougher than the other. So just change your perspective on different situations and always try to find a lesson in the challenging situations. All right, I'm in this right here. Until next time.